In another New York story, the state is now the first in the country to ban natural gas in newly constructed buildings. That means no more gas-powered stoves or furnaces. The new law will take effect in 2026 and initially only applies to buildings less than 7 stories high. Some commercial properties, like restaurants and hospitals, are exempt. The goal is to reduce climate-warming greenhouse gases from homes and businesses, which make up 11% of the nation's carbon emissions. That's according to the Environmental Protection Agency. Amy Turner joins me now to discuss this. She's a senior fellow at the Sabin Center for Climate Change Law at Columbia Law School. Amy, thank you for joining us. Does the state need to demonstrate that these appliances are harmful, or do they have some kind of special authority that allows them to ban gas stoves?
Well, the state has, wide-ranging authority over the construction of new buildings as well as over the distribution of energy throughout the state. Certainly, this is a requirement that will have dramatic and positive health impacts for New Yorkers, but that's not necessarily what the state needs to look to in order to enact this. The state enacts all sorts of building construction requirements, all of the time. This is very much within, the normal scope of business for the state of New York, as are decisions around where to distribute natural gas.
Critics say that this will make construction more expensive and limit options for homeowners. Is that a potential? Could that be used in lawsuits to knock this back, this ruling back?
Well, the gas industry is well funded and well organized. It wouldn't surprise me to see them use some of these arguments in litigation. But many of these arguments around cost are unfounded and are often, made by the construction industry and by the gas industry rather than by folks who actually, are impacted by significant housing costs. It is very economically feasible to build all electric. There are analyses that show that it's cost competitive, if not better, in places like New York and around the country to build without natural gas from the start. And in many places of the country, this is normal practice for home builders. They build all electric from the start. This is really nothing new.
And also, if that argument, you can make that argument, but would it stand up in court? In other words, does it have some kind of special weight to overcome that authority that you said the state has already?
No, certainly not. This would not have any impact in court. These are, just arguments that we might hear that, aren't necessarily accurate. But certainly in court, that has no bearing on the legality of this requirement.
And so then would the route then have to be political? In other words, those industries you mentioned would have to mount a political campaign, presumably to get a new governor in, and then change things. Is that the only way essentially this could change?
Well, there are a number of things they could try. Certainly, politics is one avenue. Having a different legislature and executive, now that this is law, it would be difficult to undo with just a different governor. Certainly, litigation is an avenue for some of these opponents. Just because they're not successful doesn't mean that they can't spend a lot of money and make it really difficult for jurisdictions, like New York and elsewhere, to sort of compete with the amount of resources they might spend on lawsuits.
And is this in any way a model? Is there anything particular about the authorities in New York State that make it easier to do in New York? Or is there any way in which this was done that might be usable in another state or locality?
Well, certainly other states and local governments could look to, the language and the structuring of New York's law in modeling their own laws. There's nothing unique about New York State that makes them more or less able to do this than other places. I think the ways that this will be an important model for New York are technologically and politically. So, this is the first time that a state legislature has enacted an all-electric building requirement in the whole country. And so, the legislature really has shown here that this is politically feasible and that, legislative bodies in other states could pursue the same sort of policy and it would work for them politically. New York is also a very cold place. Places like Buffalo and Rochester are very cold, as cold as it really gets in the continental U.S. And so I think that this requirement will show that we have the technology, that this is feasible even in the coldest places of the country. And that will give some comfort to other states and localities thinking about this sort of requirement.
Amy Turner, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you.